Welcome to another Women series. It's in Igbo, Ezikolomo. Today I want to discuss 7 modern, or should I say 7 Igbo traditional practices that look like Odinana but not Odinana. 7 modern Igbo traditional practices, or 7 modern traditional practices that look like Odinana but not Odinana. The Bible is again, alụgba ọbụla omenala. Alụgba ọbụla omenala. That means when an abomination is over a year, it becomes a tradition. When an action that is not good or an evil action is accepted, and after a while it becomes the norm, that's alụgba ọbụla omenala. So these days there are some things that we call Odinana, some practices, some Igbo traditional practices, or some Igbo practices or traditions that we now ascribe to Odinana, that this is how Igbo people used to do it. But it's not necessarily true, due to that some people do not know what is Odinana. Remember, I've said I've said elsewhere that what is exactly is Odinana. Odinana is rooted in a people's way, how Otundi Igbo see Emife. And there are 2 institutions that will help you to understand Odinana very well: marriage and burial. Marriage and burial. And I've said that, well, how do you know Odinana? Whenever you break, whenever you try to deviate on a wanafa, what do I mean by a wanafa? As in, there will always be repercussion. Or, I don't know whether repercussion is, you just have to go back and correct it. For example, onye nile enihe etu esi kwesịrị ime otu ọdịnala Igbo si wee do. Ana ngwuru be ndị afọ, aja na ebe ndị afọ, ndị ishi ebe ndị afọ ya ewe iwe tiri emi onye ahụ otu esi kwesịrị ime elu. That is Odinana. There is how we bury our dead. There is how we perform our marriage rites. Abịa na anụ nwaanyị, ọ na ndị kwesịrị ịṅụ mmanya nwaanyị anụghị mmanya ahụ, ọ bụrụ ndị ọzọ ọṅụli enu, ọ ya awa n'afa. So but along the line with the coming of Christianity, westernization, and acculturation, us coming in contact with other cultures, we've started diluting our cultures and introducing some strange things into our cultures, importing these things, and with time we have said that this is how Igbo used to do it. That's not how we used to do things. So I want to list out these things that over the years people have come. You know, if you see people in their 30s, people in their 40s, people in their 50s, people in their 60s, they will say that this is how we do it. But that's not how Igbo people used to do it. These things were imported. So that's what I'm treating today. 7 modern Igbo traditional practices that look like Odinana, but not Odinana. Remember, if it is not Panadol, you know, if you be like Panadol. Number 1, marriage is not till death do us apart. Many Igbos think that in Igbo culture that marriage is till death do us apart. That is not Igbo culture. For richer, for poorer, for this one till death do us part. All these things came with the English canon, or with the colonialist, with the West. Anumdi na Igbo does not end with the death of a woman's husband, because you will see a woman in an Igbo, when the husband dies, she believes that she is free to do anything or to sleep with whoever she pleases. That's not true. That's not Igbo culture. Because they have come to believe that marriage means till death do us part. That death have ended it. That once your husband is dead, that you are no longer married to the person. You are no longer a married woman. It's not true. In Igbo culture, even if your husband dies, you are still married to the man. Death does not bring an end to a marriage in Igbo culture. In Igbo tradition. Death does not bring an end to a marriage in Igbo tradition. Marriage in Igbo tradition is between 2 families and not between 2 individuals. If a woman's husband dies, she's still married to the man's and his family, as far as they have not returned the bride price, the dowry. What ends marriage in Igbo culture is what? Dowry. Dowry. or even, should I even say, the death of the woman, not the death of the man. Even the death of the woman, because even if the woman dies, the woman will still be referred as Wunyai. So, what ends marriage in Igbo culture is dowry. You have to return dowry. It's not death. If your husband dies, you are still married to the man and his family. If there is anybody you even want to have any sexual relation with, is with the man's, anybody within the man's family, because any of the man's relative is still your husband. So the husband's family are her husband. So if she engages in an intimate relationship with anybody outside the husband's family, it becomes an abominable act. Alo usana, oblonsana. So till death do us part, the concept of till death do us part is Western culture. You see so many Igbo people, they do not know this thing. People that in their 50s and in their 60s, they do not know this thing. They say the woman's husband is dead, so they are free to sleep with the woman. But you are not related to the woman's husband. You are not free. Number 2, Igonwa, that's buying of a child, adoption. Buying of a child is not Ome, or Ome na Igbo, or Odinani Igbo. Buying of a child is not Ome. And an adopted child, Agaya no Nimo Obi. In any big Obi, an adopted child cannot be the Obi of that family. If they do it, you will notice an anomaly. Some things, strange things will start happening in that family. Either the boy dies, or the boy will get married and will not be able to give birth to a child, or as in so many strange events will start happening because a wrong person is sitting on a stool, on the family stool. You cannot pilot the affairs of the family as an adopted child. An adopted child, there is no provision for an adopted child to be integrated into a family system because we have our own ways. We have our own ways of solving this problem. Why is it a problem for an adopted child to fit into our Igbo family system? Because Igbo family system is rooted in Ikunne. You don't know the Ikunne. Igbo culture, Igbo tradition, our system is rooted in Ikunne. Because a child belongs to two families, the father's family and the mother's family. So if you buy a child, where is the mother's family? You can't answer that question. How can you solve all these problems from where they go? You see our people, we are importing systems that do not fit into our culture, and it will start giving problem left on our one alpha. And they say it's our tradition. Are there you go go? Are you go na Igbo? Only na Igbo si we be na Igbo. Because if you maybe mother chop Igbo si, ihe me we hana mother to jewe Igbo si. Either no joy ben na or jewe ben name. When strange things start happening to an Igbo man, he goes back to his father's family or his mother's family because that is where the root of the problem will come from. But if you adopt a child, if something starts happening tomorrow, where do you start from? So any child that you do not know his or her Ipunne, the mother's family, is a square peg in a round hole and cannot sit in an obi. The child will not correctly fit in. Buying of a child is a Western thing, and but the Igbos are beginning to adopt it now. No, that's not how we do it. We should be careful about things we emulate. Buying of a child, adoption does not fit into our culture. Our culture is built on paternal and maternal linkages. So there are many cultural ways to solve the problem of childbearing. We have one Hashiwine. We have marrying another wife for the man, or even the woman marrying a wife for herself that will bear children in her own name, either for her husband or for her father. Umegolego is free. I'm not saying that you should not adopt a child. You can adopt a child, but be careful that you are not adopting a child that will act as the firstborn as Obala. It will not work. Or that family. You are bringing a very big, huge problem into that family. You are bringing a very huge problem into that family. That family may be wiped away. I'm having a kitchen if you try it. But if you have children on your own and you see a child that you want to adopt, because nature and all those kind of things, you are free. You are free to adopt the child and help the child. But you do not adopt a child that will come in to play a primary role in that family. But if you are adopting a child for the child to come and play a passive role, then there is no problem. Women do not celebrate New Yam Festival. These days, you see women saying that they're Nahan. Yam is a masculine food in Igbo culture. Why cocoyam is a feminine food? I always tell people that go for this kind of events, be careful. Osofu means poisonous food, bad food. A woman cannot celebrate New Yam Festival. You cannot celebrate with what you do not own. As far as Igbo tradition is clear, yam is a masculine food for men. Women, it doesn't mean that a woman cannot eat yam. You can eat yam. These days, now why not koziji? But it should end there. It should not end with why it's supposed to put a on our waji or onyun or not what idea or sin on our waji. No, we should be careful of. We don't even know the spiritual implications of all these things. A man is the head, and you express those your superiority through this process, this kind of festivals. Unless now one year hand on a day, if all no name, unoma, unless name, unoma, man, one year our job room. Number 4. As in beating and battering of wife by a man, by the husband. I'm sorry to say this is strange. We have few cases, as in very little cases, of a man, of the husband beating up the wife. But it's now rampant now. And you see people, they say it as if it's Igbo culture. It's not Igbo culture. A man beating the wife, it's not Igbo culture. In our normal tradition, if a man is beating up the wife, it's an insult to the wife's family. You are trying to say that the woman does not have a family. It's only a slave you beat like that. That's why then people do not like marriage for their children, for their daughters to go far, so that they will keep an eye on whatever is happening. Or if the daughter wants to return, the daughter can quickly return back to the father's family. But now you see men beat up their wives as if they are nobodies, as if they don't have parents, as if they don't have kindreds, as if they don't have kinsmen, as if they don't have mother, as if they don't have extended family. In the olden days, you don't try such. In normal Igbo tradition, you don't try such. Try it, and the woman will tell you that she's from a family. She has people. That she's not a slave. It's only a slave you batter and you beat up. So these are not Igbo tradition. Showing your masculinity on your wife is not Igbo tradition. In fact, there are fines for all these things in the olden days. There are ways to take care of all those things in the olden days. But now, do we have it? But the women make their wives their punching bag now. They say kind it is cultural thing. It's not part of our culture, of Igbo culture. No, it's not. Number 5, marriage is not do or die. That divorce is a sacrilege, is a Western culture, it's Bible thing. There you see a verse, I've forgotten a particular verse, where God is saying that I hate divorce. It's the Western God that is talking that one. Our gods love divorce. They acknowledge it. You are free. I've said it before in another video. Marriage, if I want marriage in Igbo culture, is EJD. A journey can either be fruitful or not fruitful. If it's not fruitful, you go back. You don't go there to get stuck because they say they hate divorce. There is this particular case of a woman that was her husband was being, and she does not want to divorce, and he was saying that the family and all these ones and all those, that is not their culture. I say it's a lie. That's not Igbo culture. Don't call it Igbo culture. It's not Igbo culture. I have cases, even in this lifetime, I can tell you several cases. I can point several families where the women in that family, they have been married in how many other places before they settled down in this particular family. and stay with that man for the rest of their life. In some cases, some will go to this, will marry this man and give birth to 1 or 2 children, and the marriage does not work. They leave and they go back to another. They get married again to another man. They might give birth to a child, or might not even give birth to a child. They don't like the marriage, or they might even die. They go back to their father's house and they remarry again. I hate divorce. It's Bible. It's not an Igbo culture. In the eyes of Igbo tradition, divorce is not a sin. If you marry a man and you do not enjoy what you are seeing, you do not like whatever you are seeing, if you marry a woman you do not like, you are free to dissolve that marriage immediately through the traditional process. You are free. You are free to end it. You are welcome. It's not a sin. If you are saying that divorce is a sin, I'm sorry, it's the Bible that is telling you that. It's the God of the Bible that is saying that one. It's the Jewish God that is saying that I hate divorce. In the eyes of our own tradition, it's not a sin. There is no sin in divorcing. There is nothing wrong. And it's not, no matter all the age that you do, a marriage may not work. You are supposed to live. You are not supposed to be there enduring what you are not supposed to endure. If you choose to endure, just say that you want to endure, but don't blame it on the culture. Because so many people are blaming things on the culture, on the Igbo tradition. Things that the tradition is innocent of. And you're enduring the marriage because the tradition does not, is a lie. I'm telling you now, is a lie. Igbo tradition encourages and advocates for divorce. And there are rooms for the solution of marriage. And you can remarry. Is the whites that have brought it now na mmadụ si na di wepụ a na-enene anyị as if no nwere abomination or community. That's a Western destiny. In our normal tradition, no woman is despised for leaving her first marriage for another marriage, or for coming back to her father's house. So this is not Igbo tradition. Please, we should be careful about some of the things we say. Don't accuse your culture of things that it's not guilty of. Number 6, Iduwa. These days you see people saying that Igbo culture is patriarchal. When a man dies, everything goes to the son and nothing is given to the female. But they do not know that in normal Igbo culture, that once a woman is about to marry, Idunwa is like settling that woman. But you see people now, Christians, even so many in the Odinani, their daughters, their sisters, you marry. She will not be settled. Idunwa is like starting her off, giving her a share. And they are trying to give her a share. I know some men in this modern time that have used house to settle their daughters. Some have used lands. Some have set up businesses for them. So when you say that Igbo culture is patriarchal, because when a man dies, the son takes, and I'm saying no, and they don't want you know. That's why even if that woman remarries, and they made 2 times, you don't want you know once, and that your first marriage, and you don't want you know, and they made twice. Even up till now, here for some people who when they are child, after 10 or 15 years, they made that thing. Because who waged. That's how a woman receives some of the inheritance from her father's family. But you see people now, they say about Igbo culture being patriarchal, that the man dies and the son takes over everything. They do not say this, they do not say this. Of how a woman is being settled. Some people who are even Christians, who are even supposed to practice this, will not practice it. Some people who are even Odinani, people that are supposed to practice it and show it, so that people will know, will not do it. All they will be thinking of is what they will get from their son-in-law, and not what they will give to their own daughter as a contribution to the marriage. Not just to the marriage, as their own contribution, as if only went out from the father's side. Number 7, taking the dead to the mortuary. I don't know why people think that mortuary is not an Igbo thing. You see people, some men will even give clear instructions. If they die, they should bury them immediately. Their children will still disobey. That's not how we do it. Who is the we? In the olden days, highest is 2-3 days. 2-3 days embalming process. 2-3 days, and the person will be buried. Taking a corpse to the mortuary is not an Igbo thing. And I'm not encouraging people to do it. Some of you complain about bad juju and all those things. And where do you think the people get the organs they used to do in all this bad juju and bad evil magic and all those? It's from the mortuary. It's from the mortuary. So some of you take your parents to the mortuary, take your loved ones to the mortuary, and come back with empty body. All the vital organs that is inside the body have been removed. They've been taken away. So it's even a dishonor to the dead person. It's a dishonor for a dead person's body to be tampered with and be used for things that you are not even aware of. I believe there is only a fool that takes his or her loved one to the mortuary. It's not an Igbo tradition. When you tell people don't take bodies to, they say that's not how we do it. Who is the we? Unless it's your own mortuary that you are sure of. You trust the staff and they will not tamper with the body. But I'm guaranteeing you that most bodies that you people return from the mortuary, most corpses that you return from the mortuary to be buried, they have been tampered with. So, we Igbos, we do not take our dead to the mortuary. So don't say that's how we do. It is not we. There is no, when you say we, are you saying Igbo people? That's not how Igbo people do it. Can't wait maybe the local mortuary that you will be saying that's how we do it. Mortuary be the name. So I want us to know these things because never is in because with time you people have started saying that this thing is how Igbo people. It's not how we do. It's not how we do. That's what I'm trying to explain in this thing. It's not. So that you know it. If you have questions, you are welcome to ask. Dalo, thank you.